Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. We are going to continue our series on embroidery designs. We've done these so far, so now let's take a look at doing something like this. Yes, I know they're two different greens, but I just wanted you guys to see some different options. On this leaf, on this one, I did a dark green and then a light green running up the middle. And then on this one, I just used the same light green that I put on the edges to go right up the middle with a back stitch. So the stitch we're going to do today is called a lazy daisy. So let's get started. Oh, my new trick for the week: find a piece of styrofoam and push your needles into it and then put it in your box that you're keeping all your stuff in. That way you're not sticking yourself with needles and you can find them when you need them. Yeah, I had to go looking for a few the other day. So I have zoomed in a little bit more than usual. Hopefully this will help you and you won't be able to point out all the wrinkles and flaws with my hands, but hopefully you'll be able to see a little better. So this is 2 stitches. It's the lazy daisy to get these outside edges, and then it's a back stitch down the middle. If you want to leave the back stitch off, you can, no worries. Okay, let's get started with this shape. This shape and this shape and any others you want to are going to be the shapes we're using for this stitch. So let's see if I can get my hands in here well enough. Again, start with your thread. I did reduce this thread down like we did in the last video. I think I've only got 4 strands in here just because this was a thicker thread. So if you want to, you can glue that little tail down. I'm really starting to like that better than putting a knot back there. Just use a tiny little drop of super glue. Let me just do it real quick. And that way it just holds your thread in place and you don't have the bulk of a knot back there. So let me just put it down. Try not to get it in the way of another knot. Okay, let's get started. Each stitch has 2 holes associated with it. So this one and this one. This one, this one, this one, this one, this, 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 and this. You're going to start by coming in this bottom hole. Gently pull that through. I don't think my glue is dry on the back, so in my case, really gently pull it through. Now what we're going to do is make a little loop with your thread. Just something similar to that. I'm then going to hold that loop with my finger, my thumb, whatever works better for you, and I'm going to go back into the hole that I just came out of. The reason you want to have a finger or a thumb or something on there is because when you pull on it, you don't want to pull your stitch. Oops, I'm gonna caught. There we go. You don't want to pull your stitch all the way through. You want to be left with this little loop. Okay. So now I said we've got 2 holes associated with each stitch. I'm going to show this from the side, so hopefully you'll be able to see it better. This time I'm going to come through the top hole, and then I'm going to go through the middle of that loop we just made. Again, gently pull my thread. So I've got my loop. Now I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go over the top of the loop that I had made previously. And this is going to lock that loop into place. Oops, completely off screen there. and then just cinch it down a little bit. So now you have the first loop that you started with, and then you have a little stitch that goes from here over the top and back down into here. So let's do that again. Let's go to the next hole, gently pull it through, make your loop, hold it, go back into the hole that you just came out of, keeping your loop. Now we're going to go into that second hole associated with this stitch. Going to come through that loop, over the top, and back into that same hole. If you want it to look a little fluffier, just kind of give it some slack in the stitch. You don't have to pull it super tight. Alright, let's keep going. Through, make a loop, hold the loop, back into that same hole you just came out of. Go to the second hole, pull it through your loop, over the top, and back in the same hole. So each hole is being used twice. And again, loosen it up. We're going to keep going until we get to the bottom. So just remember which holes work with which one. So this one, this one, this one, this one, and so on. Okay, got my loop. Come through the top. And back in. Y'all with me on this? I'm going to keep going. If you've got the hang of it, fast forward me until you get to the next item. If you're still working along with me, we're just going to keep going until we get to the bottom. Remember, we're going through that loop, over the top of it, and back in that same hole. It's like a little tacking stitch, if you will. It's just tacking that loop into place. My poor camera, I'm so close to it, I think it keeps trying to focus, unfocus, focus, refocus, unfocus, in that order. But hopefully once it finds its focus, you can see what I'm doing. Oh, looks like I got my hair caught in there. Don't even ask how that happened. Okay, 2 more to go. Y'all still with me? Sound like I'm teaching an aerobics class or something. Are you still with me? You haven't passed out on the floor? Well, I guess that was the music from my aerobics class. Go figure. Turn your phone on silent and it still makes noises. I have yet to figure that out. Okay, last one. Come up. Go through the middle of your loop like we've been doing. Don't drop the needle. Y'all didn't see that. Okay, here we go. Come up. Go through through the middle of your loop, and then back down into that same hole. And you're done. You can stop there if you want to. Or you can go back. Remember, with your back stitch, you want to start in the second hole, come up, go to the first hole, go down, go to the third, up, second, down, fourth, up, third hole, down, next one, and we're just going to keep running all the way till we get to the other end. I don't know if I should call it the top or the bottom. Depends on how you want to look at it, doesn't it? But it's the other end. So let's see. Nope, too far. Skipped a step there. Skipped a hole. And that's where, if you wanted to do two different colors, you would just tie off your first color, start your second color, and then use your second color for your back stitch. And I'm done. What you think? Obviously, tie it off on the back, put your backer on there, and then you're going to want to cut off any excess string, glue it down, then put the backer on it, and then put your earring finding on it. These are amazing. Watch how easy this is. Right, are you ready? You ready? No jumpering. You still watching? I'm going to thread it through, pull it down, and you're done. That's it. And it's always going to hang facing forward. So these are from Campbell and Chaos. I'll put the link. They are one of the approved sellers in our group. And there's a discount code in our group codes. So that's how we did that one. This is the other one that uses the same process, just a lot fewer steps. So I'll just grab this. This one, you're going to use this big center hole quite a bit. So this first stitch is here to here, and then we'll start using this hole. So start here, make a loop, back into that same hole, if this gets a little tough to pull on, oops, I went through the knot in the back. That's the other downside to knots. Sometimes you catch them. It's alright, we'll undo it. There we go. If it's getting a little tricky to pull your needle through, just grab a pair of pliers and gently wiggle it through. Okay, so I've got my loop. I'm going to hold that with my finger up through the top, through my loop, cinch it down a little bit. Keep seeing that knot on the back, and that's just really distracting. I'll fix the rest of it later. Okay, and then there we go. Now from here on out, we're going to use this center right here. Go through the center, make our loop, go back through the center, holding onto my loop, go up to the top, pull it through, go over the loop, pull it through, and that one's a little stiff. And then we're going to go to the other side. Up through the center, make your loop, back through the bottom hole, hold on to your loop, come through the top hole, go through your loop. That loop sure gets a lot of attention, doesn't it? And then over and back through. Still with me? Come on, 10 more sets. I'm just kidding. Up, loop, down, holding onto the loop. The deal with holding onto the loop is that way you don't accidentally pull it and pull your loop all the way through and try to have to end up doing twice as much work. That's all. It's going to happen at some point. You're going to accidentally let go of the loop and oops, just redo it. No big deal. This is where my pliers would help, and you just want to kind of gently wiggle it through. And last one, up through the bottom, hope that you have enough thread. Oh no, I might be a touch short on this one. Let's see if we can make it work. Come on, you can do it. I have faith in you, little string. I don't have enough. Okay, well, in that case, I hate to say it, but I'd just undo it and use a new piece of thread and just redo it real quick. So once you've done it a few times, it doesn't sound as heartbreaking because it actually turns out to be pretty quick. But yeah, this is just a touch too short. So everybody imagine that we have that last one done, and it would look like this. Then you just put earring finding on it. How fast and easy was that? No jump rings, no bending, no pliers. Done. Alright, y'all. We have got another video coming up next, so stay with us.